Yes. Yes, my dear students. Now we will enter into the next discussion. Next discussion we will start. What was our last class discussion, my dear students? Did you remember what was completed? Exception handling concept is completed with the files, with the ATM application, case study, and all those things. Today we are going to see the new concept here. New topic we are going to start. New topic we are going to start. That is files in Python. Files in Python. This is a topic we are going to start. Okay. So what is this files in Python? I just want to talk about the index. Index we are going to talk about it. Yeah. Carefully try to understand. Fine. So let us go for executing about the index. Yes. So coming to the point of it, what is the index of these files? Index, what we are going to discuss. So the first point we are talking about always purpose of files. Purpose of files. We are going to start about it. Yes. Next we are talking about what is meant by types of applications in Python. Types of applications in the context of applications, in the context, types of applications in this context. We are going to talk about non-persistent applications, non-persistent applications, and the next is called persistent applications. Okay, be careful. Persistent applications. Next, we are talking about definition of files. Definition of files. We are talking about what? Definitions of file. Definition of file. And next we are talking about after that types of files. We'll talk about what? Types of files. After that, before that, I will talk about operations on files. Operations on files. Be careful, students. All of you must carefully try to understand operations on files. There we are talking about operation A, read and write operation. Read and write operation. Read and what? Write operations. Yes. Next, I am talking about types of files. Types of files. Types of files. There I am talking about text files, text files, and next is called what binary files. Binary files. Binary files. Next we are talking about file opening modes. File opening modes or file modes we are going to talk about. There we are having varieties of modes. R mode, and next is called what W mode. Next what it is called A mode. Next what R plus mode. B is called a W plus mode, and D is called what A, B, C, D, E, or you can say modes. I will write in number so you can easily remember that. So 2, 3, right? People can say only 1 or 2 modes, but we'll discuss completely different modes. Okay, right. Now I'm talking about 5. It is going to be called as A plus. A plus, we call it as A plus. A plus, right? And okay, 1 minute. It is a 4. It is a 4, and then 5, and then 6. 7 modes are there. 7 modes are available in files. Next, 7th is called what 7th is called what X mode we can call. X mode we can call. X mode we can call. So file opening modes are WA. R plus W plus A plus X. File opening modes. We will talk about it. Syntax for opening. Syntax for opening files. Syntax for opening files. So there is a first one is called what? With the open, with the open, and B is called what? With the open as. That is the second approach. Next, we are talking about functions required for right operation. Required for what operation? Right operation. We are having two functions there. One is called right function. One more is called what? Right line function. Right lines function. Functions required for read operation. Functions required for write operation. This is read operation. There I am going to talk about read function. Next is called what? B is called what? Read line function. Read line function. Next, read of, I say, number of cars. We'll talk about it. In detail, we'll talk about it. Read line function. Next, D is called what? Read lines function. Read lines function. And in every moment of it, programming examples will be continued. In every moment. Next, advanced part of the files. That is nothing but object serialization, which is called as a pickling, we can call, which is called pickling. Object deserialization. Object what? Deserialization. Object deserialization. That is called what? Unpickling operation. And there we call it as what? Pickle module. Also, pickle module. Always learn every topic. Learn the module name. Object serialization, pickle module. Object serialization, pickling. Object deserialization, this one. And next is called programming examples on every part of it. We are talking about, this is the index of our files. Big index. I just gave a big index. So please, all of you must ensure this. This is the one which I am going to discuss. So again, this is going to be a four days. So you must understand these things. These many things we are going to discuss in the files. Okay. So meantime, all of you joined in the class. Now I will start the discussion. Don't become a single class absent. So Diwali is over. Still people are less. So by becoming absent to the class, don't become unemployed person. Try to attend daily and try to be a good student. Now let us start with the introduction to files. Let us start introduction to files. Introduction to what? Files. Let us start the introduction to files. What exactly files concept is? Very, very simple. Let's start with it. Now, I'm trying to say one thing. Those who are attended complete classes, there is no doubt in that you will become a good job holder. If we becoming absent and then not continuing the classes, having some other kind of activities, different navigations, different other kind of activities, if you become absent continuously, we can't say what will be the result of it. Okay. Anyhow, we start the result. We start the discussion. What exactly purpose of files? So this is the habit of our class. Always, first point is always, what is the purpose of files? What is the purpose of exception handling? The purpose of exception handling is to build the robust applications. Robust applications. Have you built the robust applications or not? With the exception handling, have you built the robust applications or not? Yes. So we build the robust applications. Yes. Because with our knowledge of exception handling will be continued in files also. Exception handling will be continued in every moment. Try to understand what exactly the purpose of it. Now I'm going to start, guys. The purpose of files. The purpose of files in industry is that the purpose of files in industry is that to get or to achieve the data persistency. Data persistency. To achieve the data persistency. The purpose of files in industry is that to achieve the data persistency. Very good. Next, I'm going to understand. Next, we are going to enter into the what is data persistency and all. Don't worry about it. I will explain more, Jafar. I will explain. One by one, I am going to introduce. As on today, Jafar, listen, no problem. I will explain that because when I'm using new terminology, you will understand that. See, my dear students, take Government of India. Taking your Aadhaar card details, you take it. Is your Aadhaar card details are temporary or permanent? Is the details are available with Government of India permanently or temporarily? Permanently. That means to store your data permanently, somewhere else they stored it permanently. Such a permanent storage is called what? Data persistency. Data persistency. Jafar, did you understand the word called data persistency? Right. Fine. Now you take one more example. Take your banking sector, financial sectors. You take it. Financial services. You take your account holding details. Is your account holding details are stored permanently or temporarily? Is your account holding details are stored permanently or temporarily? Permanently, they are storing. They are storing permanently. Okay. So far, the programs which we have discussed so far, the programs we discussed, they are all storing the data temporarily. Let me draw one small diagram. Here. Try to understand me carefully. Try to understand. This is the diagram. I'm just taking this. This is a diagram I'm just taking. Okay. So this is your computer. I'm just giving the clarity here. This is your computer. Yeah. Now I'm taking. This is your computer. Okay, dear students. Now from the keyboard, we are reading the data. Okay, dear students. From the keyboard, we are reading the data. This is called a keyboard. How do you read the data from the keyboard? Yes, I want to know that. Using input function, super, mono, very good, ma. Using input function, we will read the data. Am I correct? By using input function, we will read the data. Okay, my dear students, by using which function? Input function, we used to store the data. We used to read the data, basically. Yeah, that data is storing in where? Yes, my dear students, that data is storing in where? In the main memory of the computer. Okay, my dear students, just carefully try to follow. In the main memory of the computer, the data is getting stored. Yeah. In the main memory of the computer, the data getting stored. Yes. So, in the main memory of the computer, the data getting stored. Yes, my dear students, just let us follow this carefully. Yeah. So, in the main memory of the computer, the data getting stored. Okay. Perfect. Okay. So, of course, don't worry about the diagrammatic representation and all. What I am writing is just something like this. So, assume that this is called a main memory. This is called your main memory. So, in this main memory, what is happening? What is the main memory component called? What is the main memory component called? A RAM. The data which is stored in RAM, by using input function, our data gets stored. I'm just writing one small diagram. So far, what we did, I'm just trying to say. So the data stored in main memory of the computer. Okay, super. The data stored in main memory of the computer. Data stored in main memory of the computer. Stored by default, stored in main memory of the computer. Okay, well and good. After that, we processed it with our logics. We processed the data, and the result is stored in where? On the monitor. Result displayed on monitor. That is nothing but on the console. On monitor. This is called a monitor. Okay. On monitor. How do you display the data on monitor? By using which function? This is by using input function. Oh, excellent. Input function we are reading. ROM, Anuj, very good. By using print function, we used to show the data on the monitor. Okay. We used to display the data on the monitor. Okay. By using input function, we used to display the data on the monitor. Which function I am using? Print function I am using. Print function I am using. This type of application comes under persistent application we can call. Which application it is called? Persistent application we can call. This type of application comes under persistent application we can call. Which application it is called? Non-persistent. Sorry, my dear students. It is called a non-persistent application. Please spell out once more, all of you. Which application it is called? Non-persistent application. Which application it is called? Non-persistent application we can call. This application is called non-persistent application. In non-persistent application development, what is happening? In non-persistent application, what is happening? The result was stored in the main memory temporarily. That is called non-persistent applications we can call. We call it as a non-persistent application we can call. Well and good. Very good. Result was stored in where? This is known as what? Non-persistent application we can call. Non-persistent applications. What is non-persistent application? Quickly try to understand and don't get confused, because already you have studied in C language, files topic is there, C++ files concept is there, Java files concept is there. In almost all the places you studied files, but in my class you will become so perfect if you attend my classes completely. In non-persistent applications, result of the data was stored in main memory. Is it a temporary or permanent? Is it a temporary or permanent? Which is called a temporary. As on today, many of the organizations, what is the most important part to take decisions? What is the most important part to take decisions? Data is the most important component to take the decisions. Such a type of data, you want to store temporarily or permanent? Such a type of data, you need to store permanently. That type of data, we decided to transfer into where? We decided to transfer permanently. Such a type of programming, we need to learn it. That type of programming we are learning now. Such a type of programming we are learning now. Such a type of programming we want to learn it. That is what we can call it as. Now I want to go for such a type of data want to store permanently. Such a type of data I want to store permanently. Such a type of data want to store permanently. Where can I store permanently? Either in the form of a file I can store. The permanent place we can store the data. One is in the form of file, one more is in the form of database. One is in the form of a file, one more is in the form of database. Either I can store the data in the form of files or in the form of database softwares. One is in the form of files, one more is in the form of database softwares. Databases softwares. Either we can store the data either in the form of files or in the form of databases. That is nothing but, in a broad sense, if you take it, I want to store the data permanently. permanently. That is nothing but I am taking secondary memory we can call. Secondary memory we can call. Of course, that is known as what? Hard disk we can call. Hard disk, because you should not get any confused, because we are learning new programming now. Because after the files topic is over, I will introduce straightforward to the database software also. So ultimately, what is my conclusion here? What is my conclusion? The result of this program, I want to store permanently. In how many places I can store the data permanently? In 2 places I can store the data. One is in the form of files, one more is in the form of database softwares. One is in the form of files, one more is in the form of what? Database. So the result of your program, see my dear student, I am taking from here, the result of the program, the result of the program must be stored permanently, The result of the program must be stored permanently, either in the form of file or in the form of where? Database. So I can store the data permanently. I can store the data permanently. I can read the data from the file. I can read the data from the database. So anywhere else I can read the data. This is called what? Simply reading part. This is simply what? Reading part, I can say. This is simply called what? Reading part. Okay, my dear students, I want to just let me adjust it. And this diagram, try to understand little bit carefully, ma. This type of diagram, try to understand. Or otherwise, if you feel little inconvenient, I'll just take up something like this. Right. Now, I want to just taking this part. So I want to store this data, something like this. Or if you follow me, I can just take like this. So Praneeth, please switch off your video. I would like to say either secondary, this is called a secondary memory, or what? I just want to take this. I will write other side, ma, because the diagram you want to see clear and efficiently, because you should not get a doubt about this type of diagram. So I want to give little more clear. I want to store the data permanently. What type of memory space it is? Secondary memory. I just want to say secondary memory. Secondary memory, which is nothing but simply called as what? Hard disk we can call. Hard disk we can call. Yeah. So try to understand me carefully, my dear students. So I can store the data in 2 places. One, I can store the data in files. One, I can store the data in the database softwares. Either I can store the data in the form of files, or I can store the data in the form of what? Files. Okay. So let us coming to the point back. Store the data either in the form of files or in the form of what? Database softwares. Right. So let us move to the further. The way which you are storing the data permanently, the way which you are going to retrieve the data, these are all going to be called as what? These are all going to be the way which you are storing the data permanently, the way which you are going to read the data from this place. These are all comes under what? These are all comes under what? Comes under what? The data which you are reading and writing, storing the data permanently is all comes under what? Is all comes under what? You know, persistent applications we can call. What is this application development called? Persistent applications we can call. I am writing here persistent applications we can call. Persistent applications we can call. This is called what operation I am doing? Write operation. This is called. We are transferring the data from the main memory into where? Into the file or database. This is called what operation? You know, dear students, read operation we can call. Read operation we can call. Write operation as well as what? Read operation we can call. So come to the conclusion. This is called the view between persistent and non-persistent application. This entire thing is known as what? Persistent and non-persistent application view. This is the view of what? Persistent and non-persistent application development. So I'm writing about view about what? Non-persistent and which applications? Persistent applications we can call. Persistent and what? Non-persistent applications we can call. So come on here. I want to talk about it. How many types of applications? How many types of applications we have? Two types of applications. What is first one? What is the first diagram? Persistent, non-persistent applications, and next is called what? Persistent applications. Two types of applications are there. One is the persistent and one more is called what? Non-persistent. Good. So far, the examples which you have written so far are comes under which applications? So far, we have written the programs. Result was stored in the main memory. That was called non-persistent. Now, today we are learning. From now onwards, we are learning. They are called what? Persistent applications. We are going to learn it. Come on. Here I am going to write. Why do you use files? Why do you use files? The purpose of files in industry is that to achieve the data persistency. Excellent. In the context of files, what? Files. We can develop two types of applications or two types of programs. They are A is called what? Non-persistent applications. And next is called B is called what? Persistent applications. Persistent applications and non-persistent applications. Okay, good. Now I'm talking about non-persistent application development. Okay, easy. In non-persistent application development, result of the program in non-persistent application development, result of the program is stored in where? Main memory. Is stored in where? Main memory, which is nothing but what? RAM. Is stored in main memory, that is nothing but what? RAM. So try to understand me very carefully. So easy to understand. So I'm going to give the clarity here. In non-persistent applications development, result of the program stored in where? Main memory. Result of the program stored in main memory. So ultimately, I got this result. And it is temporary. You know that already. Am I clear? Anything stored in the main memory, which is only volatile, as long as power is on, data will be available. Once the power is gone, once the power is lost, the data also will be lost. Am I clear? Here, I will write one small note. All our previous programs are comes under what? Non-persistent application development. Or comes under what development? Non-persistent applications. Or comes under non-persistent applications. Good. Next, I'm going to talk about in non-persistent applications development, result of the program is stored in main memory, and it is what? Temporary. All our previous programs are comes under non-persistent applications, or comes under what? Non-persistent applications. Good. In persistent application development, what is happening? The result of the program stored permanently. Persistent application development, the result of the program stored permanently. Result of the program stored permanently. Right? What do you mean by persistent? Data persistency. If you want, I can write in the bracket. Storing the data. See guys, storing the data permanently, storing the data permanently, which is called what? Data persistency. To achieve the data persistency, storing the data permanently. In the context of files, we can develop two types of applications. They are like this. In non-persistent application development, result of the program stored in main memory and it is temporary. All our previous programs are comes under non-persistent. That means a temporary. Right? In persistent application development, result of the program stored permanently. Okay, very good. In industry, now I am entering into the subject. In industry, data persistency can be achieved. Now I am writing data persistency. Data persistency can be achieved. In two ways. In what two ways? In two ways. They are first one, A. In industry, data persistency can be achieved in two ways. They are first one. I'm going to make it. What is the first thing? By using files. Second one is by using. Next one is by using database softwares. Right now only I'm saying, my dear students, all of you try to install database softwares. Try to install here database softwares means Oracle, MySQL. Next is called what you know, SQL Server, PostgreSQL, etc. These are all comes under various database softwares. Right? It is my advice for all of you. I will tell, of course, I'm not boasting about my classes. I will tell database softwares. I will tell Oracle. I will tell you the configuration. That is nothing but how Python program can communicate with Oracle. Don't think that I am going to explain Oracle, because I am not a Oracle faculty. I am saying to you once again, Oracle software, you take one of the Oracle installer person, try to download. And once again, I am telling to you, I am not going to tell you how to download the Oracle because I am not a database trainer. Please take care by yourself. You take your own arrangement, because I am not going to tell you about the database related software downloads. Why? Because while installing Oracle software, some type of settings are required in the hardware part, or some type of settings required maybe, because I don't know what type of settings to be done in Oracle, because whenever I need, I can communicate with Oracle. That's it. Because we are experts in the programming. Database, whenever I need, I will take care about that. That's it. Because I am frankly telling to you, MySQL you download, Oracle you download. It's okay, ma, Saifuddin. MySQL is okay. Yeah. Okay, ma. So please take care about it. Whether you are a friend or relative or whatever it is, please take care about how to download both of them. Okay? Because I am a Java trainer, Python trainer. If you want Java installation, I will show you. Python installation, I will show you. Please take care of the downloading of this, because after files, I'll go for the database softwares. Please take care, everybody. This is my advice. And don't ask me, show me the Oracle downloading process. Now, I'm not going to show you that because I'm not a database trainer. Right? Please take care of it. And don't feel because sir said that virtually, take care of it. Yeah, please take care, mom. You can do that. You can take care of all that. Okay. First, I will go for what? I will go for by using files. So first concept is introduction to files. We are entering into the files by using files. So files and database softwares are used for what? For achieving the data persistency. Can be achieved in how many ways? Two ways. One is by using what? Files. One more by using database softwares. Excellent. So we are going to enter into the files. We are entering into the files. So introduction to the files. Two types of applications, non-persistent, and one more is called what? Persistent applications. Now we understand the importance of files. Now I will go for it. Files concept I am going to enter into that. Let us start the files. Now let us start the files. Let me start. Of course, instead of saying that as what introduction to files, I will give it as what I will give it as what types of applications in files. I can give you types of applications in files. Here I will come to the introduction to files. Here I will give you types of applications. Types of what? Applications. I'm giving it types of applications or types of programs in where files. One is two, one is this one, and one more is other one. Okay, right. I will take care of that. Now, introduction to files I'm going to talk. Let us start the definition of file. Definition of what? File. Very, very simple. Let us start. First of all, are you understanding file? First of all, are you understanding the importance of files? Yes. Let us take the diagram. Let us take the diagram. My dear students, carefully again follow. Carefully again follow. This is my main memory. This is the main memory. I'm taking it as what? Main memory. Yes. This is the main memory. In this, I have a list object. I have a list object. This is called my list object. This is called my list object. Yes. This is called my list object. LST. This is called LST. I'm talking it as what? LST. Okay. Perfect. In LST, I am having 10 KVR, something like 23.45. This is my data. This is my data. What is this? 10. Next is called what KVR is the name, and next is called something I just said like this. It is an object, right or not? It is an object, right? It is the object. Objects are there in where, ma? Objects are there in where? Objects, where are you storing that objects? In main memory, right or not? It is an object. Objects are there in where? Main memory. Okay, well and good. So this object, such object, I just want to go for, I want to make it as a permanent. I want to store it as a permanent memory. Can I store it as a permanent? Can I store this data as a permanent? Main memory data is nothing but what? A temporary data. Temporary or permanent? Temporary or permanent? It is that temporary. So can I store this data as a permanent? Can I store this data as a permanent? Yes, I can store this data as a permanent. I can store this data as a permanent. Fine. I can store this data as a permanent. Perfect. So where do you store this data? Where do you store this data, my dear students? Come on. In file. Files are there in where? Where are you taking the files? Yes. Come on. Slowly come to the subject. Where are you? Very good. Secondary memory. Secondary memory. See, my dear students, secondary memory, which is nothing but what hard disk we can call, my dear students. 1 minute, ma. I will take like this. It is 1 minute, please. 1 minute. I will take it as something like this, ma. 1 minute, please. I'll take it as, yeah. So I will just take it as secondary memory. This is secondary memory, which is nothing but hard disk. This is called hard disk. There I'm going to take the file. So always try to understand what is my file name I'm going to give. See, even in our programming also, anything you want to store it, compulsory we are saving the data. To save such data, definitely we will require what? Some sort of file name is required. So I'm taking my file name as a student.data, stud.data. It is called extension. You can give your own extension, no problem. Student.info, student.data. You take your own information, no problem. Take your own extension. I decided to take .data. What is happening? I will store this object data into where? Don't tell hard disk. Store the data into the file. 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 See, sir, how do you store the data into the file? I will take it as 10. I will take it as a KVR, and I will take it as what? 23.45. This listed data I am keeping into the file, which is called record. Please be careful, my dear student. Record. I will take it as what? Record. Record 1. I will take it as record 1. Next, I will take it as one more kind of data. 10 is equal to 10 is equal to, I will write it as what? Something like mono. I will write something like mono. So it's called what? 33.33. It is called what? Record. It is called record. Record 3. Record 2. I can say record 2. I will say record 2. Like that, I will take one more thing. 30. I will take it as Riyaj. I will take it as what? 45.67. This is called what? Record called what? 3. Record called 3. I will take it as a 40. Next, there I will take it as a D John. Is called what? Something like, I will take it as what? 34.55. It is called something like this. It is called one more kind of record. Record 4. Now, carefully understand, my dear students. Here, each and everything, it is called object data. It is called record 1, record 2, record 3. N number of records are there. Now tell me, if you really follow me, what is this student is called? Quickly, I need to know quickly. What is the student is called? Yes, I must know about this. It is called a file name. What is it, ma? File name. It is called a file name. Yes, this is called a record. Now tell me, what is your LST called? Object. Object is becoming what? A record. Record is there in where? File. File is there inside of what? Secondary memory. Such a type of file, such a type of record will become what again? Such a type of record. All these records, whatever the records are there, this is all called records. That records can become what again? Object once again. Such a type of records will become what again? Records. Such a type of objects will become what again? Records. Objects it will become. Such a type of records will become an object. Am I clear? All types of records can become what? Objects. That's why if you come to the ultimate point I am writing, dear students, what is the point to be remembered? What is the point to be rememberable? Little bigger one I will write. All the objects. It's a very, very important point. Don't forget this point. All the objects data must become what? Records in the file, and vice versa. Means what? If you write it, you may not able to get it. That's why I will write it. And all the records of file will become what? Objects in main memory. This is the point to be rememberable. Ultimately, this is a point to be rememberable. If you forget this point, we cannot do anything else. Because in front of you only, I am showing everything for you. All the objects will become what? Yes, all the objects will become record, and record will become what? Object. So this is the files operations which is taking place. So ultimately, I am going to give you the clarity. All the objects data must become records in the file, and all the records of file will become objects in main memory. And now I am going to enter into that. What is the definition of file? Yes, please, all of you. All of you must answer my question. A file is a collection of, yes, I am waiting for your answer. A file is a collection of, yes, a file is a collection of, a file is a collection of what? Records. A file is a collection of records. Yes, Ma Saifuddin. Be practical, be practical. We are going to show you that. Actually, file is meant for storing collection of records. Okay. Collection of data also you can say, no problem. But we are in the context of data. Data is very important. You take customers in SBI, your account number, your name, your balance, etc. Okay. So Aadhaar card number, your name, your address, everything. That is called record. Faculty details, student details in the university. These are all called what? Records. This is called records. What is a record, sir? Again, I will go for it. Definition of record. Definition of record. What is a record, please? A record is a collection of values. A record is a collection of what? Values. A record is a collection of what? Values. That's very good. Where is the file resides? Where is the file resides? File name. Files always resides in where? Secondary memory. Secondary memory. Files always resides in where? Secondary memory. Files always resides in secondary memory. Beautiful. Files always resides in secondary memory. Beautiful. One more point I am going to talk it. What is the file name? A file name, yes, a file name is one of the, technically, I am talking, technically, this is a very important point. I am not talking what is the file. Technically, a file name is one of the named location in secondary memory. In secondary memory. A named location in secondary memory. Technically, a file name is one of the named location. In where? Secondary memory. Am I correct? Am I correct? Technically, a file name is one of the named location in secondary memory. Because secondary memory, hard disk is a collection of sectors and etc. Cylinders, sectors, and all those things, but we don't want to bother about it. Inside the file, inside the hard disk, a file name is one of the named location. Such a file is containing what? Collection of records. Files are there, resides in secondary memory. That's why every file name is considered as a named location in secondary memory. Am I correct? Did you understand the meaning of a definition of record? Did you understand the definition of record? Yes. Now I am going to talk about definition of record. Definition of record. Now I entered. Okay, sir. What is the stream? There is one more definition I want to talk about it. Definition of stream. What is the stream? This also I want to give you, because there are some people will ask you the doubt. Some people will ask you the question as an FAQ. What is the stream, sir? What is the stream? Very, very simple, sir. See, object data becoming what? Record. And record becoming what? Object data becoming what? Come on. Object data becoming what? Record. And record data becoming an object. So such a type of information is moving between what? Main memory and then what? Secondary memory. Moving the data between main memory and what? Secondary memory. Such a type of information is called what? Stream. Simple, ma. When I explain the concept, first it enters into your brain. Just to take one generalized example, normal example, very child example. When I explain anything, first it enters into your brain. After explaining half an hour, if it is traditional classroom, we used to say write the notes. So sir will dictate the notes and he will write the notes. So what is happening during the notes? Whatever sir was explained, he is transferring your brain data into your notes. Am I correct? Whatever the sir was explained, that the notes data is shifting into your notes. Okay, perfect. And tomorrow or day after tomorrow, some examination is there. Some type of interview is there for you. What are you doing that time? What are you doing that time? You will transfer your notes data into your brain again. You will do revision. Revision means what? Notes data transferred into your brain. That is known as what? Brain data coming into where? Brain data coming into where? Notes, and notes to brain. Such a type of mechanism is called stream. So I am writing here the flow of data, the flow of data, flow of what? Data between what? Main memory and what? Main memory and what? File of secondary memory, file of secondary memory. Secondary memory is called what? Stream, we can call, is called stream. The flow of data between main memory and secondary memory is called stream. Is called stream. Is it okay? Is it understandable, guys? Yes. So this is called simply called as what? Introduction to file. Definition of file. Definition of file. What is a file? And files are residing in where? And technically what is the file name? And then definition of record. And then this part. And the last part I can write it. Last part I can write it. All the objects of all the objects data. All the objects data of main memory. Main memory will become what? Records in the file of what memory? Secondary memory. And records of file will become the records, will become the objects in where? Main memory. I hope you are understanding. All the objects of main memory will become records in the file of secondary memory. Secondary memory. And the secondary memory. And the records of file will become objects in main memory. This is the point to be rememberable. Now I will enter into that. Now I will enter a small definitions I introduced. You apply it to any language. Go to Java language, go to Python language, go to C language, go to C++. So first of all, objects are there in where? First of all, file is there in where? First of all, you must have the clarity. If such clarity is not there, it is difficult for us to move further. Okay. Now, at the same time, I would like to talk about types of files. I would like to talk about what? Types of files. There only, I would like to talk about types of what? Files. Right, my students, carefully try to understand. After that, we will enter into some other discussion, because all these things are programmatically very, very important. Right? In the Python programming, right, ma? In the Python programming, we have two types of files. In Python programming, we have two types of files. We have how many types? Two types of files. Two types of files. They are. What is that? First one, A. Number one, text files. First one is called what? Text files. Next is called binary files. Binary files. First one, I am going to talk about what file? Text file I am going to discuss. Text file I am going to discuss. First file I am going to discuss. A. Text file I am going to talk about it. What is the text file, sir? Very, very easy, not a difficult. Text file. I am going to talk about the text file. What is a text file? Very, very simple. Text file always contains the data in the form of alphabets. First of all, remember, digits, special symbols. A text file always contains, yes, I'm writing. A text file, a text file always contains, always contains, always contains. Yes, my dear student, a text file always contains, a text file always contains the data. The text file always contains the data. Always contains, I can write data in the form of alphabets. Alphabets. We are going to use it. This one we are going to use it in the programming. Comma, digits, digits, and what? Special symbols. And what? Special symbols. Special symbols. Always contains the data in the form of like this. A text file always contains the data in the form of what? Alphabets, digits, and special symbols. Perfect. What are the examples, sir? Examples. All sorts of .py files, .py files, all our Python programs. Python program contains different symbols will be there, different digits will be there, different alphabets will be there. .cpp programs, it's a text file. .java file, it is a text file. .doc file, doc file, doc. .xlsx, xlsx, etc. These are all comes under what? Text file. In Python programming, I'm going to indicate in Python. This is an important point to remember. In Python programming, right? To create a text file, I'm going to talk about it. To create a text file, we must use a letter. We must use a letter. We must use a letter T. We must use a letter T. Or one more point I would like to write it. Or text files denoted by T, denoted by T. In Python programming, to create a text file, we must use a letter T, or text files denoted by a letter T, denoted by a letter. Where I will use that letter, I will tell you, ma. Don't worry, because I will tell you letter T. Right? If we don't specify any type of letter, by default, no, ma, Anvita, don't take like that. If I specify, it is txt is a default, that is different. I am not talking about a .txt. During our Python programming, in some of the context, we are going to come across to create in Python programming, to create any text file, we use a letter called T, or text files denoted by a letter T. Okay, by default, see, I am going to use these things because we are going to use very perfectly in the programming. By default, a file is always created, a file is always considered, a file is always considered, always, because these points you will understand after few minutes. Always considered. By default, a file is always considered. Yes, after a few minutes you will understand. As what file? Text file. Okay, you don't worry about that. I will take care it in the class. Okay, next, coming to the binary files, sir. Binary files. I'll take care about everything. I'll take care about everything. I'm not talking about only for this moment. I'm talking about the complete course of action. Yes. Coming to the next, binary files. Binary files are those which are denoted by a letter B. First of all, denoted by a letter called B. I will write this sentence so that half of the tension will go for you. Half of the tension will go. In binary file, to create a binary file, we must use a letter called B. We must use a letter called B. Or binary files denoted by a letter B, denoted by a letter B. In Python programming, to create a binary file, we use a letter B, or binary files denoted by a letter B. Simple, right? So what binary files contains are? The binary files contains the data. I am writing here. A binary file always contains the data. Binary file always contains the data in the form of binary format. In the binary files always contains the data internally in the form of binary format. Internally in the form of binary format. A binary file always contains the data internally in the form of binary format. Okay, sir, what are the examples, sir? Examples, I'm going to talk about it. Yes, look at that examples, my dear students. Examples, I'm going to talk about it. Examples. What are the examples here? Dot jpeg, or one more is called a gif, mvi, audio files, video files with their extensions. Take anything, comma, png file, png file. It is called paint, your paint. mkv files, come on, mkv files, mkv files. Yes, all video files. If you want another examples, with the normal example, extensions related examples I wrote. Audio files, audio files, video files. Next is called images. Next is called PDF. PDF contains some images also. Text is there plus images will be there. Even I will talk about in the class. Binary file is indicated by a letter called what? B. Are you understanding, ma? Anvita. See, ma'am, binary file is indicated by a letter called B. If I don't specify the letter B, what that file is called? If I did not specify the file notation at all, which file it is by default? A text file. By default, a file is always considered as a text file. To consider APK file also, Shubham, .apk file also. You can write all types of ma. If anything contains images, all images, all videos, audio, video, any type of pictorial, diagrammatic representation is present, which is called which file? Binary file, which is containing the data in the form of pixels. Pixels format is containing. If you want, I can write or I can write pixels. I can write pixels. If any such file is containing like that, all those things are comes under what file? Binary file. How to use binary files in my class, we will take care. How many types of files are there? Two types of files are there. One is called what? Text file. One more is called binary file. Yes. So introduction to file, we got it. Perfect. Now I'm going to talk about operations on files, because before writing the programming, we must know all these concepts to be covered. Then only we can understand the programming on files. You take any student, C language files, you take it, they don't know anything about files. Okay, so operations on files. I'm talking about operations on what? Files I'm going to talk. Take any programming, people don't know anything about the files. C language, you take it. Most of them learned C programming already in our college level. Somewhere else. But we don't know that. Okay, so now we are learning about operations on files. Just easy for you. Simple. Take this personal example of mine. Whenever I explain the data, it is entered into where? Whenever I explain the data, where it is entered in? Into your brain. Brain is called as which memory? Brain is called as which memory? Main memory. Is it temporary or permanent? Is it temporary or permanent? It is the brain, is a main memory, which is called temporary. Which is called temporary. Temporary. Very perfect. Immediately I will say what? Write the notes. Write the notes. In writing, see the word called write the notes. That means I am transferring your temporary data into the nodes. Nodes is nothing but like a file. Permanent data I am making. So what is the first operation you are doing there? What is the first operation you are doing there? Come on, write operation. Taushif, very good ma. Taushif. It is called what? Write operation. Mono, good. Write operation we can call. Okay. So what are you doing in write operation, dear students? What are you doing in write operation? Quickly tell me. In write operation, we are transferring which data? We are transferring temporary data from main memory into the file of secondary memory. That is called which operation? Which operation? That is called write operation we can call. Slowly I am coming to the picture. Write operation we can call. Okay. We write the data to the file. We will write the data to the file. We will write the data to the file. Okay. We will write the data to the file. Next, what are we doing? After writing the data to the file, we are reading the data. We are reading the data from the file. Yes or no? So, you take a general example. We will read the data. What is the second operation? What is the second operation? Read operation. Am I clear? Read operation. Everybody must notice this. Read operation. So I will write the data. Simple amount. When you go to the bank, first day to open an account, the bank clerk will create an account for you. What is that operation called? What is that operation called? Write operation. Yes, he created an account. He made your entry to be created newly. He written your entry newly into their place where it is stored permanently. Yeah. Next day you went for depositing. Next day you went for depositing. What they will do? Will they create your account daily? Will they create your account daily? No, sir. They will enter your account number simply. They will get the details. That is called read the data, read operation. On the files, now see my dear students, on the files, we can perform two types of operations. We can perform how many operations? Two types of operations. Two types of operations. They are, what is the first one? Write operation. Second one is called what? Read operation. Okay. So first operation I want to talk about it. Write operation I want to talk. Write operation I want to talk. What is the write operation? What is the write operation I am talking? Simple. In the write operation, I am going to talk about it. What is the write operation we are doing? Tell me. In write operation, what are we doing? In write operation, what are we doing? We are transferring the in write up. In this operation is used for. This operation is used for transferring which data? Temporary data from where? Main memory into the file of what? Secondary memory. Into the file of what? Secondary memory. Into the file of what? Secondary memory. Into the file of secondary memory. This operation is used for transferring temporary data from main memory into the file of which memory? Secondary memory. Sir, what are the steps for this? What are the steps to be used here? What are the steps to be used? To perform write operation, we will use 3 steps. Okay, if you want steps, what are the steps for write operation? Steps for which operation? Write operation. Okay. So what are the steps for write operation? Very simple. If you want to write the notes, how many steps are required? First step, choose the notebook. Am I correct? Choose the notebook. Am I correct? Here what? Come on. Choose what? The file name. Choose the file name. Am I correct? Choose the file name. Very simple. Very easy. Okay. Second one is what? Okay, I'm choosing the notebook. I will open the notebook in which mode? I will open that notebook in which mode? Write mode. Super. I will open that file name in write mode. Open the file name. Open the file name in which mode? Write mode. How to open the file name in write mode? I will explain. How to open the file name in write mode? I will explain. Open the file name in write mode. I will explain. How to open the file name in write mode? I will explain. There is a syntax for it. Choose the file name. That file name I want to create maybe a text file, maybe binary file. If I am using binary file, compulsory I have to specify which letter, which letter B. If I don't specify the letter called T, if I don't specify the letter called B, by default which file it is? By default which file it is? Super. Divya, very good, ma. Good response. That is called what? A text file. Very nice. Very nice. Everybody is saying very nice. Super fast answer. Third step is what? Okay, sir. I opened in write mode, choosing the file name, and I opened my notes also. Next, what we will do? Write first line, second line, third line, fourth line, fifth line. I will go on performing many write operations. Perform. See, my dear students, what I'm writing? Perform. Cycle of write operations. Perform. Cycle of what? Write operations. Cycle of write operations. Excellent. Cycle of write operations. Perform what operations? Cycle of write operations. Choose the file name. Choose the file name. Open the file name in write mode. Perform cycle of write operations. Is the last one is clear? I will write first line, second line, third line, fourth line, fifth line. I will go on writing until we say write operation is completed. Yes, sir. Understand very well, sir. Now, at the time of performing write operation, we will be getting exception also in the write operation. We will be getting exceptions also in the write operation. So I see, guys, exceptions occurring, exceptions during write operation. Exceptions during what operation? Write operation. Exceptions during write operation time. During what operation time? Write operations. Exceptions during write operations. Exceptions during write operations. Yes. What are the write operations we are doing? First exception. While we are performing the write operation, you may not get, while we are performing write operation, see, my dear students, I am writing, while we are performing which operation? Write operation, we get the following exceptions. We get the following exceptions. What is that exceptions? Suppose I may not have the sufficient hard disk memory space. Suppose this is happening in worst case, so worst case. As on today, we have 1 TB of memory space. For example, I have fully filled hard disk, even 1 byte of space is also not there. But I'm trying to open the file in which mode? Write mode. Will it be opened? Will it be opened? No, sir. That time we will get IO error. What is that error called? IO error. See, index error, insufficient found error. We are all seen value error, type error. Already we are perfect, right or not? In every moment of it, exceptions will come, modules will come, functions will come, packages will come, exceptions will come, list will come. All types I'm carrying forward. Whether you have watched or not, in every topic I'm carrying my previous topics so that you are fully acquainted with all the topics. Okay, right. So morning, in 11 o'clock, new batch was started. I told you already. Today, one new student has come. He was completed Python already 2 to 3 times in Amirpet only, in different classes. Of course, we don't want to say. He is virtually saying their names and they are showing that nodes also to me. In Python, how many data types we used to say? How many data types are there? 14 data types are there. Do you know what they said? 3 data types are there in Python. Int, float, bool. They said only 3 data types. See that. Data types they taught in how many? 1 hour. 1 hour only the class time. 1 hour it is over. And they did not explain list, typo, tuple, etc. They did not say anything about that. And the functions concept, they did not say anything. Modules concept, nothing is there. And do you know what they said finally? They so yes, ma'am. So finally they said something like what, you know, they said something like, you know, they went to exceptions. Functions, their heading is there, but it is only one day. Types of functions: predefined functions, programmer defined functions. Programmer defined functions, nothing is there inside of it. I really wondered, you know, exception handling not at all taught. Do you know what is the course duration? 20 days, 25 days, it was finished. 25 days finished. So he was appearing for 6 to 7 interviews after that. He thought that that is only the Python. After attending to the interviews, they later come to know that they don't know anything. And of course, don't feel that I am boasting. In one of the interview students are sitting before going to the interview, they are sitting in one place. So they are just asking, one of our student, he came out and then he sat for his one more friend. And these 2 students, other student who met today and our previous student. And what questions are asking, this new student asked who met today to our previous student. And he said all the things. So he don't know even one also. So how do you use your programmer defined module in everywhere else? Packages, sys.path.append, Python path. So they are all different exceptions, try, except all these things. He don't know anything. So later, of course, our student, previous student, told him, then he came today. Today only he came. And he has seen that what we discussed already. The discussion is going on, data types discussion is going on. So he realized it. He shown virtually his notes, right? So like that, subject coverage is very, very important. Subject coverage is very, very important. Without covering the subject, if you go to an interview, we will be out from the competition. Okay. So please learn, everybody. Don't miss a single class of us, and then do be happy. And then later you get everything newly. All the things, learn in depth of it. Okay, I don't mind to complete so quickly about the course, because I don't want, my heart will not permit to complete without anything. So incomplete, if I say anything which I don't want, I want to complete heartfully where it is coming very frequently in your real time. Okay, please be careful. Try to learn everything. That is my intention. So later he came and is appreciating. Yes, ma. Nitin, very good. Yeah, thank you, ma. Thank you, Nitin. Riyaj, yes. Taushif, yes. Yes, ma. Right. Yes. Nitin, yeah, you paid, sir, I paid 40,000 in Pune, but not get such a teaching. Yeah, see, 40,000 you paid. So it's really, see, for example, 40,000 means really it's painful and not getting the proper things. So means, see how things is, that's what, learn perfectly, utilize my class services perfectly. So if I am a student, if I am a student, if my sir teaches well, that is only the blessings for me. I can get everywhere else. Yes, you can get this subject. Of course. Right. Yes, ma. Thank you. Right. Let us start with this. Right, ma. Ramesh. Exactly. Not a problem. Yes. we are going to complete that. Okay, right. So it won't take that much time, Ramesh. So it won't take that much time. It will take from here onwards 1 month. It will take. Okay, na? Yeah. So coming to the next part. Yes, ma. Ramu, Anuj. Thank you, ma. Thank you for your compliments. That's what I'm saying. Don't miss a single class of mine. So let us start. IO error. IO error. When do you get it? This error is coming due to what? Due to what is that? Due to lack of memory space, due to insufficient memory space, due to insufficient memory space, insufficient memory space, insufficient memory space, insufficient memory space. Okay, my dear students, insufficient memory space. One more is called what? File exist error. File exist error. File exist error. This I am going to show you guys. Occurring due to file already exists. Due to file already exist. When you get all these things, I will show you in the class. Nothing to worry. Next, nothing to worry. Due to insufficient memory space in hard disk, in HDD hard disk. These are the exceptions we are occurring in the write operation. These are the exceptions occurring in the write operation. Do you know when do you get this exception? Do you know how to handle these exceptions? Do you know how to handle these exceptions, guys? Yes. Which keywords you will use? Which keywords use? Do you know the keywords in exceptions? How many keywords are there? Five. Can you write in the order of the exceptions, which I told you already in the class? Can you tell me the order of the exceptions? Order of the exception birth onwards. Exception birth onwards. Raise, comma, try, comma, except, else, finally. Else, finally. That I told you. Next, coming to that. Yes. This is the read or write operation. What is the next operation? Read operation, I want to tell you. Read operation, I want to go for it. Very simple. What are you doing in read operation? Very easy. What are you doing in read operation? Tell me. Read operation, what are you doing? Tell me here. This operation is used for transferring which data? Transferring the data. Oblique records. Transferring the data or what? Records. From where? File of what? Secondary memory into where? File of. Into file of which memory? Sorry, into the object of where? Into the object of main memory. This operation is used for transferring the data or records from the file of secondary memory into the object of what? Main memory. Is the purpose of what operation? Read operation. What are the steps in read operation? Tell me. Steps in read operation. Steps for performing what operation? Steps for which operation? Read operation. Steps for read operation. What are the steps for read operation? Yes, I am interested. Yes, first one is same. Choose the file name. Okay. Choose the file name. Okay. Next is called what? Second. Open the file name in which mode? Which mode, ma? Read mode. Excellent. Read mode. Next, what are you doing? Yes, open. I perform which operations? My dear students? Read operations. Perform cycle of which operations? Read operations. That's it. What are the exceptions coming in this place? While we are performing, exceptions during which operation? Read operation. Exceptions during read operation. While we are performing which operation? Read operation. We get the following exception. Only one exception. We get the following exception. What is that? You are trying to choosing the file name. Okay. You are opening the file name in read mode. Unfortunately, that file name is not there. Which exception it is? File not found error. File not found error. Occurs due to, yes, I am writing, occurs due to what? File does not exist. File does not exist. File does not exist. Yes. Occurs due to file does not exist. Is it understandable? Is it understandable or not? Yes. What are these called? What are these called? Operations on files. Operations on files. This is called operations on files. How many operations on files? How many operations on files? 2 operations. Why do you use files in real world? Why do you use files in real world? Yes, data persistency purpose. How many types of files are there? How many types of files are there? 2 types of files are there. One is called what? One is called what operation? Read operation. One more is called what operation? Write operation. Read operation, and next is what? Write operation. Read operation and write operation. Right? Read operation, and next is what? Write operation. Now we are taking read operation, write operation steps also. Next, tomorrow we are understanding. So now it is almost 7:40. So people started asking, sir, please stop, sir, or enough, sir, today, like that. So yes, ma, Vipin, C lectures when will start, ma? See, actually, there are so many things are there to start. Java batch need to start, and then Python batch need to start. Django batch need to start. We are waiting for it. The institute people, admins will decide very shortly. They will publish that things. Yes, ma, Anvita, you try to open that. I send in the form of jar RAR file, ma. You unzip it. You unzip it, ma. You unzip it. Please unzip it. Okay. Yes, please unzip it and then try to do it. Okay. Yes. So try, ma, try. Please check it in your things, because fine. So today I will upload this and read that. Tomorrow we will continue. Don't miss the class tomorrow. Okay. Very good. All the best. Don't miss it. Thank you. Right, ma. Bye.